Krista, I'm so glad you're back. Happy holidays.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah, so we've got some new tools to play with, and I've got some questions up here on my screen from some stuff that we've talked about in the past. And one of which, before we get to the new tools, one of which is the DNA ethnicity estimates. I know we were able to split our DNA ethnicity estimates by parents right now. Any updates on splitting that to the grandparent level?
Yeah, so SideView technology, of course, came out this last year, and it's allowed us to split our matches by parents. It's allowed us to split our ethnicities by parents, traits. Like there's lots of different things we can do that way because you have a pair of chromosomes. And so we can say this is side 1 and this is side 2. And of course, then you have to label which side is mom's side, which side is dad's side. But that dream or that vision of taking it like to another level, could we then split it by grandparents? Our science team is like really digging into that. And it's not as simple as just saying one chromosome or the other, because now you're trying to look at the crossovers and how that was inherited by your parent from your grandparents. So it's a tricky science problem.
I know that back originally family groups, I think it was called family circles. And I think we now are calling it family groups. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, I think there was some confusion with the old DNA circles and circles. And so, okay, just wanted that clarification there. So speaking of clarification, let's talk about sharing our family tree with non-members. Just help the audience understand, if we share our tree with a family member who's not a paying Ancestry member, what can and can they not do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So anybody can have an Ancestry login. You do not have to be a paying subscriber. So for example, if I've taken a DNA test and activated it, I have a free registered Ancestry guest account. If I ever had a subscription and then canceled it, I have a free registered guest account. Very similarly, any of the people who you share a DNA test or a DNA test results or a tree with, if they do not already have an existing login to Ancestry, they will be invited to create an Ancestry account. And that's what we call a free registered guest account. So they do not have to be a subscriber. They don't have to sign up for one of those free trials, right? And if all you have is a free registered guest account, you can see anything on a tree that has been shared with you that is not behind the Ancestry paywall. So trees on Ancestry to build, to work with, they're completely free. What you pay for with your subscription is access to some of the advanced tools, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, in a minute, and then also to the historical record collections that are part of this subscriptions. So they'll be able to see that there's records attached to that tree. They'll be able to see this person's in a 1950 census. There's a Social Security death index record for them. But if they actually try to click through to view that census, that's where they will hit, as a guest, that paywall.
Now, just for clarification, there are some records that are freely available to view, correct?
Yeah, out of 32,000 databases on Ancestry, about 1,000 of them are free. So things like the 1940 census, 1950 census actually is still free, I think, the 1880 census, and dozens of others databases.
Yeah, so you could actually build on a guest account. You could build quite a tree just using the free records alone. Yeah, excellent. All right, so we've got some new stuff. Let's talk about the new stuff. And for the audience at home, this is being recorded the day that it's being released, like hours ago. So hot off the press. Tell us about it. We've got several things, one of which I'm super excited about is the fan chart has now expanded to multiple levels of generation, which I will demonstrate that during this video. But
yeah, so maybe you can show it while I do this little voiceover, right? So currently, Ancestry has released a new family tree view, which is a fan chart, and that the default of that fan chart for everyone is 5 generations. But as part of the new Ancestry Pro Tools package, which is an add-on package to an existing subscription, that fan chart now extends to 7 generations, and there's some little different kinds of viewing tools to help you see different things in your tree in that expanded fan view.
But this is just, I just think this is one of the coolest tools ever, ever, ever,
Yeah.
ever. And so if you
Yeah.
right click, you can get this at a little sub menu to move around in the tree too. You can hit view tree to move that person to the center.
Yep, they become the focus person. And then if you go up and click on your fan settings up there, that's where you're going to be able to see different generations. You also then can see which people on my tree have hints, which people have photos, which people have sources. So it'll color code your tree in this view based on that setting that you chose. So the darker the setting, the more things it has, the lighter the color, the less things it has.
Yeah, I use dark mode because it's easier on the eyes. But yeah, I didn't even know about that. This is
So
very
that's hints, for example. So it looks like you've got some people that have a lot of hints and some people that have no hints. It looks like maybe you don't have any hints for Benjamin, but you have a lot for Sarah, and you maybe have one or two for Anthony. So that's kind of what that color coding is telling you.
How fun.
Yeah,
I
right?
love it. So you got a photo setting here as well.
Yep. Again, people that have lots of photos or lots of documents attached are going to be darker in color. And then as you go out to white, those are the people that don't have any. And then the same thing with sources attached.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a really great way just to kind of get a visual, for those of us who are visual learners and visual action takers, to just get a quick view of our tree. We can see where the holes are. We can see where we have some work that needs to be done. I think it's fantastic.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Love it. So we have the tree checker.
Tree checker, yeah.
Also known as fact checker, I think.
Yeah, so where it says check facts right there.
Yep.
And then you also, the other entry point is the little exclamation point up there in the toolbar. So there's a couple of entry points there. And basically what it does is for any person in your tree, it allows you to check and see if there's any errors for this person, or if this person appears to be a duplicate person in your tree. And then you can click that view all possible errors, and that will take you to a list of everyone in your tree and allow you, it looks like this one's still rolling out as well.
Yep, this one's not working just yet, but I actually have footage of it working earlier. But I do have a request.
Yeah.
Is there a way to take this view all possible errors, all people, basically it's all people with errors, and add it to another portion of, I don't know, search or somewhere? Because unless you drill into a profile and then find this button, and it only showed up before if it said nice work, you don't have any errors, this button was only showing up if there was no errors to be found.
Yeah, so there actually is another entry point, and that's your list of all people. So if you do a tree search from anywhere in your tree, from a person profile page, from your tree view, go to your list of all people, and it looks like you don't have the updated page yet in the rollout, but this page has been redesigned, and one of the filters is the error checker on this page for those people who have Pro Tools.
Super.
Yeah.
I know that one of the other requests that we had made too was to see if there was a way to print all people in the tree. That I get that request a lot in the comments.
Yeah, you know what? It's so interesting because we're such a digital company that we don't think about printing functionality.
Yeah.
I know myself, I have completely gotten away from paper entirely. So it never even occurred to me either.
I have several comments that say what they do is that in order to work around it is they maximize this out to 100 people per page. And then they literally copy and paste it into an Excel spreadsheet. So
there's an easier way to do that. Actually, what you can do is you can download a GEDCOM file of your whole tree. And then there are little free GEDCOM conversion tools out there that'll allow a spreadsheet to read that. So you can import that into a spreadsheet.
That's good to know, because we want to finish talking about some of these tools. Charts and reports is another one.
Yeah, so right there again on that toolbar, you're going to see these charts and reports. And this is a great way to, for those of you who do want printed things, we've created a couple of just standard genealogical reports. So you can pick a person in your tree and you can look at their descendancy. You can do an Onentafel if you're familiar with that type of report, a register report, which again is just a system of numbering in genealogical report style. And then the family group sheet, which has actually existed on the tree for a long time, but this just gives you kind of a cleaner, more compact printout, again, for those who want printed material. So that's the charts and reports.
And then we have a couple different views, which is nice.
Yeah, just some different kind of styling and fonts. And then you can change the focus person from right here. So if you wanted to create a report for someone else in your tree, you don't have to go back out to your tree to create that report. You can just do it from right here.
Yay. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's pretty slick.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing we didn't talk about yet, which is actually my favorite thing about the new Pro Tools,
Okay.
is from that list of all people, in addition to that error report. Okay, so in the new filters, one of the things that you can do is you can now search your tree by location. So, and you can search it by any location. So I could say, I want to see everybody in my tree who was born in the state of California, or everyone in my tree who died in Germany, or everyone in my tree who, like, so you can get drilled down to specific locations. You can use any event type, and you can search your tree by that. You can also filter your list of all people now by paternal side or maternal side, by direct ancestors only. So lots of different ways to kind of splice and dice the data in your tree, because we all know, especially those of us who've been at this a while, as that tree grows, we want to sometimes be able to focus on a specific part of that tree. Or if we're going on a research trip to somewhere, we want to know everybody in our tree associated with that place. So this is a long requested feature on Ancestry, and it is finally rolling out with these Pro Tools.
I did find, so I'm in a profile. In Life Story, there is maps. Is this the same thing as to what you're talking about? Because I did find.
Yep. So this is another entry point for some of that information. So I can now filter in a map view. And we've been able to do this on mobile for a while, but this has now been moved over to the web-based version as well. I can see all the life events for a person plotted on a map, or I can start to play with the filters in that list of all people and see all of my family members in my tree in different configurations and locations on a map as well.
Very cool. This is fun. And now this is specific to this ancestor.
Right, because you came into this map through his profile page. It's specific to him. When you do it through that list of all people and go into those locations from there, that's where you're going to start to see more stuff plotted on that map for more people. So all of that is all wrapped up in the new subscription called Ancestry Pro Tools: the tree checker, the advanced filters from your list of all people, the charts and reports, and the map views. And then we've added on that little bonus of the expanded number of generations that you can view in the fan chart.
Beautiful. All right. So what does it take for someone to get the Pro Tools?
So you'll start to see the Pro Tools on your account. We are kind of rolling it out like we do with everything here at Ancestry. Currently, it is also only available in the US. So it's rolling out to US subscribers first. And so just look for those little features in your list of all people, that little toolbar that has the little pro tag on it, the little exclamation point on the profile page of any people. Lots of ways into it. When you click on those, it'll tell you what it's going to take to subscribe.
And those are available on any level, whether you're a World Explorer or US only or whatever.
Correct. You do have to have a subscription. It's an add-on to an existing subscription, but any level of subscription, you should be able to add those tools onto.
Now, do you have an ETA on Canada and the UK and the rest of the world? Because I know I'm going to be getting those questions.
Of course, yes. Yeah, and we do want to give love to our friends outside of the US as well.
Australia.
We just want to roll it out and make sure that it's all working for everybody, right? And then we'll expand to the rest of the world. Of course, we're heading into the holidays right now. Here at Ancestry, we kind of put a code freeze on everything through the holidays because we want our employees to be able to take some time off work. So I suspect it will be a fast follow at some point in the new year.
You're going to be at RootsTech, right?
I am going to be at RootsTech. Are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Anything else?
I don't think so. We're just, I'm excited to play with these new tools myself. I may be running a couple of little challenges over on my Instagram account for people to see how many errors they have in their tree or how many duplicates they have in their tree. It'll kind of make it fun for us, for those of us where competition is a motivation.
Oh, well, that is fantastic. Well, I thank you so much for taking the time and giving us the inside scoop. Can't wait to play with it a little bit more myself. We'll see you, I guess, at
At RootsTech.
RootsTech if I don't con you into coming back sooner.
Anytime. Thanks,
All
Patty.
right. Thanks.